Nafshi. Zichron Yaakov Sheish, V'mema Yerushalyim. And here we are, Bava Kama, Mem Daled on the base, Shorsh Nagach Daled Behei. And did we get up to the Mishnah yet? I don't think so.
A few lines to go.
We've got a few lines to go, so we're right smack in the middle. Wonderful. Okay, so right. The Gemora brought from the Mishnah. The Mishnah will just do a 2-minute chazar over here to get us back in the story over here. This sugya starts from the 2 dots, which is about 15 lines up from the Mishnah.
After the word patur?
Yeah, that's right. And the Gemora brings over here a din from the Mishnah. It's kaven laharog a behema, laharog es ad adam potter. In all the other cases, basically he's mechaben to kill the animal. Is mechaben to kill someone other than a Jew, whether it be an animal, whether it be somebody else, and he ends up killing a Jew. He's potter. He's exempt from the din skila, even though he killed the Jew. So the Gemora says that this Mishnah is not like Reb Shimon. No, one second. Oh, the Gemara's B'dai. This one happened to be Horeg. This one, I'm sorry. Let's start this over. Dafka, we're talking about the din where the animal is mechaven to kill a behema, and he ended up killing a Yisrael. In that case...
Yisrael or just a person?
A Yisrael. He's got to kill a Yisrael. Adam over here means Yisrael.
Okay.
And the Gemara, and that is a din of Patur. So the Gemara says, "Oh, why didn't? What about the case? This kaven laharog ezeh, this Adam, laharog ezeh, this other Adam. That din would be chayav according to the Mishnah. Only when the animal has kavanah to kill a behema and he kills the Adam, then he's going to be patur. But if he had kavanah to kill Adam number 1 and he kills Adam number 2, he's chayav according to the Mishnah. Says the Gemara, ooh, that's not like Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon doesn't hold that way. Reb Shimon says, I feel in this kaven laharog ezeh, b'harog ezeh. Person number 1 he has kavanah for and he kills number 2 by mistake. He's patur according to Reb Shimon. So the Gemara asks, what's the reason for Reb Shimon? Why should he be patur in that case? So the Gemara says, Reb Shimon has a drasha. He darshans the pasuk. Shor, there's 2 parts to the pasuk. Shor yisakel, right? If the shor is nogach and he's the hemis isha. What's the din on the shor? Skila. The gambal of yumas, and the bailim also. He's gonna get it. Yumas. He's chayv misa b'dei shemayim. He's got to pay kofar in order to get himself out of the misa. So Reb Shimon darshans from this smichus that we see over here, the din of the shor and also the din of the adam. That misas. We've seen this before, and here is where the Gemara quotes it. Misas bailim kach misas hashor. According to the halachas that we judge the bailim to be chayav misa for murder, so too we will judge the shor. Ma bailim ad shemechaven lei. Just like we find by the bailim, until he has kavanah for this person, he's going to be patur. So too the shor is going to have that same din. Ad shemechaven lei, until he's mechaven, he's going to be patur. Okay, so that we have 2. So that's Reb Shimon. And then the Gemara said, okay, let's go from there. Yechiel.
I haven't been here for a long time, so you guys. Aside from by the Mishnah, I haven't been for a week already. Mashma not here.
Wow, how you doing? I didn't say Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem.
Thank you for the Shalom Manas. That nice wine. Okay. So, Lou, Bailim Gufai, Inola.
Ubailim Gufaihu Mela. And the owner himself, where do we know?
Where do we know?
How do we know that he's
that
he is not liable if he didn't intend?
Very good.
He kills without intent.
Very good.
The Kamar Kra, that it says in the pasuk, the Arav lo the Kam alav. It says in the pasuk, he ambushes and gets up upon him. So therefore, the implication being that it was intentional. Ad sheyis kavein lo. Only if he intended it. So from that phrase that he ambushed and he rose up, we know that it requires kavanah. V'Rabbanan Hai, and the rabbis.
Not only kavanah to kill, but kavanah lo. Kavanah for that one that he was lying in wait to get.
Right.
This word, I think Rashi says it, the Arav lo, that he was lying in wait for him. It says it's really miutar. You would think it's miutar. What's the difference? I don't care. You killed him, right? That's the main thing. You killed him. No, the Arav lo. We learned from Arav lo that he had a specific intention for this person to become a love, and on him that he was lying in wait for, he rose up upon him and killed him. So that's where we know that the din is that he's going to be chayav dafka in that case. Ad shilchaben lo, for him. That person that was killed, he had intention for. And that's the Rav Shimon.
Rabbanan Hai, and the rabbis, with this, what do they do with this? V'arav lo, this expression that he ambushed him. Since we just said that tells us that he has to have intention, what are the rabbis going to say since they don't agree? My avdei lay. What do they do with this? Amrei.
Which Rabbanan are we talking about?
The Tanakama?
The Rabbanan of the Mishnah, who says that in this case, he'd be chayav. The animal, the shore would be chayav.
Wait, I thought the rabbi said that he was patur.
He's patur in the case of if he had kavanah for a behema, and he killed the adam. But the Gemora was medayik. If he had kavanah for adam number 1, and he killed adam number 2, he's going to be chayav according to the Tana of the Mishnah.
According to the
that was not like Rav Shimon.
Got it. Amrei debei Rabbi Yanai. They said in the Academy of Rabbi Yanai, Perek, the Zorek, Evan.
Parat.
What?
That's parat.
Oh, Parat, the Zorek, Evan, Lego. To exclude one who throws a stone, etc.
Yeah, Lego means in. Lego means inside. He's throwing the stone into a crowd of people. Some of them are Jews, and some of them are not.
And he kills a Jew.
Here you see there's going to be a difference in the din between killing somebody who's a Jew and somebody who's not.
But how is this explaining what they do with the phrase "Arav lo"? This is just saying, well, they have a different source, but it doesn't explain how they excuse that phrase.
Well, it does. Think about it. Arav lo, he lied in wait for him. The question is, who is him? According to Reb Shimon, him means that person specifically that ended up being killed by the guy. But according to Rabbanan, Arav lo means he lied in wait for
anybody, the person that he killed,
for the Jew.
Right.
As opposed to, he throws a stone into a crowd filled with people from it's the United Nations over there. It's just so in that case, we cannot prove that he had intention for a Jew. Obviously, he didn't have an intention for a Jew. If he had intention for a Jew, he would have gone over to the Jew and killed him. But he didn't do that. He just threw a stone into a crowd. So in that case, he's going to be putter, even if he ends up killing the Jew.
Right.
That we learned from Aravlo.
Hechigami. What is the case? Ilema, if you will say, De'ika, there is Tishta Kena'anim, if there are 9 Canaanites, Ve'echad Yisrael, and 1 Jew, Beinehem, between them, among them. So if there's 9 Canaanites and 1 Jew, in other words, the majority is Canaanites. Inami, so the case is that there's 9 Canaanites. In that case, definitely he's exempt. Inami, if also,
You skipped a few words.
What?
You skipped a few words. The tipuk le.
I skipped. Thank you. Tepuk le. It emerges. We draw out from this. Deruba Kena'anim Ninahu, that there's a majority of Canaanites. Inami, and even if Palge, Ufalge, even if it's half and half, we would still say that he's exempt because it's equal chance. Safek nefashos lahakel. There's a doubt involving capital punishment. If there's a doubt in terms of a death, then we are lenient. Lahakel.
What's the doubt over here?
Why are we in doubt? Whether it was a Jew or not.
We know that there was
The first case.
Palga means we know that 5 of them were Jews, and we know that 5 of them were Goyim.
Right. But we don't know who the rock hit.
We know that the rock hit and killed a
Person.
Jew.
How do we know?
Because if it would have killed a non-Jew, there wouldn't have been a question of Risa.
Because they said he's exempt. He's obligated.
The first case is saying obviously if it's 9 and 1, 9 goys and 1 Jew, we follow the rove, so we can assume that the rove was attempting for a goy, so therefore he's exempt. Now even if it's half-half, we have a doubt. Half-half, maybe he was a goy, maybe he was a Jew, we don't know. But when it's a half-half case, of course, when it comes to Dinei Nafashos, then we're always Makel. So therefore we should say the half-half, we should always give him the benefit of the doubt, saying he's going for the goy. If he's going for the goy, he'd be exempt even if he kills the Jew.
Yeah.
But now it even goes even further. Let's continue even more.
Interesting. Sefek nefashos lahakel. Even when it comes to mammon, even when it comes to money, we say Amotzi Mataver Alav Araya. The Gemora should have said, where is our raya that the guy had kavanah to kill a goy, to kill a Jew? What do we mean, Sefek nefashos lahakel? That's strange. Here you're talking about Misa, we're not talking about mammon. Even by mammon, we cry a raya. The guy owes the money. Motzi Mechavero, you want to bring a proof to take money out of this guy? You have to bring a proof that he owes you the money. Even there we don't say, well, the guy is going to take out his precious gelt from his pocket. Suffolk gelt lahakel. We're going to be makel on the guy. Even when it comes to this,
the commentary here is saying differently. It says there's no need for the verse to teach that the murderer is not liable. For when he threw the stone, it was doubtful whether he killed a Jew or Canaanite. And when there's a doubt, you're lenient.
Yeah, well,
so this is saying that he's putter.
Yeah.
In this case.
Throwing into a case.
But you said he was chayav.
No.
You said we knew he killed a Jew.
No, I said
even if he killed a Jew.
One second. I would have thought that when it comes to, I'm really confusing you before we explain exactly what the pshat is in the Gemora over here.
True, I am confused.
Let's just hold off over here.
Okay.
Let's explain the Gemora. The Gemora is going to go through. It's going through two stages over here. The first stage the Gemora says is, right. What is the Gemora saying over here? We have to understand what the Gemora is saying. We just got through saying that according to Rabbanan, this that it says Arav lo, he has to lie in wait for him, means he's got to lie in wait for a Jew as opposed to a non-Jew. He has to have kavanah to kill a Jew. Arav lo is a Jew,
Right.
not a goy. That's their drasha. You don't need to know dafka this Jew as opposed to that Jew. It's enough Arav lo, him who is a Jew. That's the drasha of the Rabbanan.
Right.
That's okay. So now, what's the case that we say that we need this Arav lo to tell me? In other words, we need that pasuk, we need that drush of Arav lo to tell me that in this case, he's going to be potter. He's going to be potter in this case. So the Gemara says, "Prat lezorik even lago." The pasuk Arav lo is coming to tell me prat, meaning to exclude chiyuv misa in a case where he throws a stone into a crowd of mixed with Jews and non-Jews, and he kills a Jew. So he killed a Jew. Oh, but why is he not chiyuv misa? Because in that case, we can't say that he had kavanah to kill a Jew. Why? Because it was Jew and non-Jew that was in that crowd. He just threw the stone into the crowd. So therefore, that's the case that according to Rabbanan, we need the pasuk of Arav lo to tell me that he's going to be pater from the din misa in that case. That's step one. Okay. Now step two, the Gemara says, wait a minute over here. Let's look into this for a second. Hey Chidami, what exactly is the case? What's exactly the facts of the case that he threw this stone into this crowd of people? How many Jews was in this crowd and how many non-Jews was in this crowd? If you'll tell me, says the Gemora, that there was a majority of Goyim in the crowd, it was 9-1, let's say, says the Gemora. Whoa, Tepuklei, the Ruba Kanani Ninu. Tepuklei, we could learn out, says the Gemora, even without having to come on to this pasuk. We wouldn't need this pasuk to tell me that he would be pater, because in a case like that, we would use the rule of going according to the majority, which means that if we go according to the majority, so if he throws a stone into a crowd that has 9 goyim and 1 Jew, we can't say that he had kavanah for that Jew. Can't say he had kavanah for the Jew in a case like that. He just throws a stone randomly into a crowd of people. So according to that, we wouldn't need the pasuk of Arav lo to tell me that he's pater. The general klal in all of the Torah that we go according to the Reuven will be enough to tell us that he's pater in that case. Okay. Alternatively, says the Gemora, inami, if you'll tell me that palgo, if there was an equal number, I don't know if it has to be exactly equal, palgo, maybe it does, an equal number of Jews and an equal number of goyim, in that case, says the Gemora, what's the Gemora says? Safek l'fashas lahakil. What's the pshat?
But even in that case, we can't say he had kavanah to kill a Jew, because it's a 50-50 chance. There's a suffix, it's a doubt. And in a doubt, we have to go lenient.
Okay, right. So and therefore, what's
Therefore, we don't need Arav lo in that case either.
Exactly. So in other words, what the Gemara is doing over here is asking a question. What's the case that according to the Rabbanan you need this pasuk of Arav lo to tell me that to exclude a chiyuv misa over here, that he's going to be pater? Which case would it be? Now, that's the Gemara. I was just saying my own idea. I didn't see it anywhere. That I don't. So maybe it's something to think about. Maybe it's not something to think about. When we come to Bava Mitzia, and we come to lending money, and the guy says, "You owe me $100." And the guy says, "I don't owe you $100." He says, "Yeah, you owe me $100." So, no, I don't owe you. So they go to the Bezdin. What does the Bezdin say? Bezdin says to the Malva, says, "You say that he owes you $100? Prove it." We don't say, "Well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't." Suffolk Mammon Lahakil. We say, "You've got to prove your case. You want to take money out of his wallet? Prove your case. Prove it." It's not a question of a Suffolk Lahakil. It's not an issue of being makel with anything. Here we come to a case of the man is on trial for his life. We're going to execute him. So I would have thought that the din would be
Prove that he killed.
We've got to prove that this guy had kavanah to kill a Jew.
Right. Makes sense.
We've got to prove it. Where's your proof that he had kavanah to kill? What do you mean suffix? We don't. Well, it's a suffix. We'll be makel with his life. What?
Kol v'chomer.
Kal v'chomer.
From
Kal
Hamanos
v'chomer.
to Nafshi.
Why wouldn't we need a proof over here? All we could say is that it's a suffix and we'll be makel with him. Okay. I don't have an answer. Just I'm throwing out the question.
So there's difference between there's a kim and mammon. It's something that's the question. There's a kim, something and mammon, there's something else.
You don't have to necessarily learn the show from Mamo. I mean, in dealing in Fashos, you definitely have the case where you have to convict by a majority of two, not even a majority of one is not even good enough. So there are stricter rules for dealing in Fashos, which say you do go Lameka because you really have to go almost before to prove that there was a kavanah. So therefore, this is definitely not proving kavanah if it's chetzi v'chetzi.
That's not what the Gemora says. The Gemora says we have a suffix. We don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
No.
Who says maybe that he had kavanah? Prove that he had kavanah. What do you mean maybe he had kavanah? Who cares whether he maybe had kavanah? Prove to me that he had kavanah to kill this Jew, and then he'll be chayav misa. Why should it be any? Why should it be any less stringent than taking money out of his pocket? When it comes to taking money out of this guy's pocket, we say, prove that he owes you this money. Give me two witnesses that say, yeah, we saw the loan. We saw that he lent him the money. And over here, we're talking about a man's life.
But you can't use the word make.
They say, well, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Is there any proof? There's no proof whatsoever. But the Gemora just says, all the Gemora says is, well, we'll be makel. It's just as likely that he didn't have kavanah as that he did have kavanah. So what should we do in that case? We'll be makel. What do you mean we'll be makel? Prove that he had kavanah. Why is it any less? Well, it should at least be the same din as it is by taking money out of this guy's pocket. You want to kill him? Prove it. When it comes to taking money out of his pocket, we say, prove it that he owes you the money. When you want to kill him, we'll be makel. We don't know what he had kavanah. Could be he did. It's possible that he did. It's equally possible that he didn't, though. We'll be makel. It's mamish a pella. Nobody's bothered.
I have an answer.
You're not bothered?
Yes, I'm bothered. But I
can't believe it. Yeah.
There's a specific pasuk. Motzi lachaveru ala haraya. That's the reason that we rule the way we do in the Mammon case.
And in the
that
Fashos?
pasuk doesn't apply in the Fashos.
Doesn't apply to the Nafshi. So we'll be more makel with the man's life than we will with taking money from him.
Causes
It's easier to kill him than it is to take money out of his pocket.
It is. It's not easier to kill him. It's the same concept of proof. You don't in all force misa, you have to be machmir in a case. You have to come up with a greater proof, a greater standard of proof, to prove that he is, to do misa. So by that greater standard of proof, you're using, like the fact that we're using the word, hey, Mako, it's not a question of it being Mako for once then, you're saying he hasn't met the standard of proof, so that's why he's not getting misa in this case, in the Chetzi case.
When it comes to Mammon, the standard of proof is very clear. Give me 2 witnesses that say he lent the money. So why not over here? Give me 2 witnesses that say, yeah, he told me 1 second before he threw the stone. My kavanah is to kill that Jew right there. No, we don't require a proof like that. No such thing. We don't require proof like that. Well, it's possible that he had kavanah for the Jew because there was 5 of them. It's possible he had kavanah for the goy because there's 5 of them. We don't really know. We'll be makel. We'll let him off.
But you're adding more into it. The fact is that we're dealing in a case where we know that he's just throwing it into a crowd. If he's throwing it stam into a crowd, he can't have kavanah for I'm going to kill one of the Jew in that crowd. That the concept of throwing into a crowd is saying.
What if there was 9 Jews and one goy?
That's coming up. That's coming up.
And we didn't even hear that he has kavanah for the Jew. Maybe he had kavanah for the goy.
That's what the question is. Could he have had kavanah for the goy?
Prove it. Prove he had kavanah for the Jew.
Right. You can't prove he had kavanah for the. That's the problem. You can't prove he had kavanah as long as it's not being thrown. Kavanah. Because remember, that's what the Mishnah said. The Mishnah said he had kavanah for zeh and killed zeh. So he had to have kavanah for a specific Jew. If he didn't have kavanah for zeh, and he just threw it b'rashlanut, negligently, threw it stam into a crowd, no matter how many people are, with the goy there, you can always say, it was the goy that was my intent. You can't prove an intent on a Jew if he threw it into a crowd.
Well, you're getting to the next slide. We didn't get there yet.
Right, but that's the whole point. It's the same
Let's
point.
get there first.
The same thing works for later as it does for earlier. You could have gone to the end of the Gemara, not even have the beginning part of the Gemara. It's good. Why bother giving the steps, so to speak?
Chas v'shalom.
Right. But
that's the way the Gemara works,
right,
logically.
But the 50-50 makes sense even.
Methodically.
Lo tzricha, it's not necessary to ika that there is Tish'a, 9 Yisraelim, 9 Jews, ve'echad Kina'anim.
Oh, that's our case?
Why did it say lo tzricha? It should say tzricha.
No, okay, so that's a good question. Whenever the Gemara always says this. The Gemara says lo tzricha. So it's always a question, what does this mean, lo tzricha?
It's no, we need it. You have to stop there, pause. It's not.
It's necessary.
No,
lo means
no applies to the previous sentence.
Yeah.
I see.
No means we reject your question. Your question is saying we don't need the pasuk. So we're saying to that, no. It's not so that we don't need the pasuk. Tzricha, we do need the pasuk. Yeah.
So we need the pasuk for the case where there's 9 Jews and 1 Canaanite. De'af al gav, that even though deruba, that the majority Yisraelim ninahu, they are. So even though the majority of Jews, nevertheless, we're going to say that he did not have kavanah for a Jew. Because of this phrase, which was Arav lo. Correct?
What's that? What, sorry?
I'm saying that even in the case where there's 9 Jews and 1 Canaanite,
right,
we're still going to say that he didn't have kavanah, that we're not sure he had kavanah for the Jew, because of the phrase Arava lo, that he ambushed him.
Right.
Specifically him, meaning specifically a Jew. Since we can't say, according to the rabbis, that he specifically was ambushing the one Jew, we're going to say that he's exempt.
Okay.
According to the rabbis.
Okay, the Gemara has a explanation though of how it works. It goes according to another principle in when we have a suffix, really, how do we look at a suffix over here?
Kevan Deika, since that there is Chada, one Kenani, non-Jew, Beinehu, between them.
In the crowd, right?
Right.
Amongst all the other 9.
Havele Kavua.
Havele Kavua.
It is in the place.
Kavua means it's fixed. But we have to explain what this means. This is a principle that the Gemora is saying over here. There's a din of kavua over here. We judge, in other words, this non-Jew as being kavua. What does it mean that we judge him as being kavua?
The whole kavua at any place. Mechetza, that is half. Al mechetza,
right.
Half on half.
Right.
Dame.
Right.
Any case where it's 50-50, what's dame?
It's like similar to it. It's like
it.
Right.
So any case where it's kavua, we consider it like it's 50-50. So even though there's only one Canaanite, because of this principle of kavua, we consider it as if it was 50-50, Canaanites and Jews.
Well, right. Now, what's the kavua over here? The kavua, what or who is kavua over here? In other words, the Gemora is saying like this. We have a case here, we call it Habele, he is kavua. And since he is kavua, even though this case is a suffix, because we can't really determine whether he had kavanah for the 9 Jews or he had kavanah for the one goy. But since he's kavua over there, in this situation where we have this suffix, there's a din of kavua in this case, and so therefore the halacha is that we have a case where it's kavua, and we'll explain in a minute what does it mean that it is kavua or he is kavua. We're going to judge that case. It's going to have a din in halacha as though there was 5 and 5 there. Kamexam nefsadami. It'll be judged just like there was 5 and 5 together there, and that we know the din is that that's a suffix and suffix nefashos lahakel. So now what are we talking about when we got kavua over here? Let Phil read the Rashi's over here. Rashi's going to explain for us hopefully what this principle of kavua is all about.
To start the Rashi is cut the tipuk like the Reuven Kanani.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we learn out that the majority of Kanani below each stricha para lemaf trail miftera. So we don't need that pasuk to pater him.
From Misa over there.
Misa, because once it's a Rova's Kanani, of course he'd be pater. Then the Inami. The Inami is saying now going back to the 50-50.
That would be if there was 9 Canaanim and 1 Jew.
That's the first case, is the Rova. Now the Inami is the alternate case, is when we have 50-50, 5 and 5.
If we had 50-50.
5 and 5, equal amount.
Right.
Chamisha Kanani, there were 5 Kanani. The Chamisha is from 5 Yisraelim. Below the Trichapah. You don't need that pasuk there either.
Right. The
Miftarei to make him pata.
Why?
The Rachmana Amma, because the pasuk says, "V'shoftu ha'edu," and the judges shall judge the congregation. But Hatzilu ha'edu, and the congregation should save the ha suffix nefashos. That means that a suffix nefashos, if it's a doubt in terms of nefashos, lahakel, you go to make it mako.
See, we have a command in the Torah, Rachmana Amar, the Torah says, Hashem in the Torah says, in regard to a case of dinei nefashos, where a man is on trial for his life, shav to a Eda, that the Eda will judge, v'hetzilu ha'Eda, and the Eda is referring to the judges. Hetzilu, they'll save him from the din misa. In other words, in the Torah is built in a command to the judges to find, according to the principles of the halacha of the Torah, to be matzo this person from a din misa. Right? I mean, it has to be a legitimate reason according to the halachas of the Torah. But if we have one, then we're going to use it. We're going to use it to get him off. And over here, what do we have? We have a principle, says Rashi, that when it comes to dinei nefashos, when we have a suffix in dinei nefashos, we are mekel. What does it mean? We'll be mekel. We'll be mekel to not execute somebody. If it's not clear to us that he is chayiv misa, that he has done the thing that he has chayiv misa for. Here, what's making him chayiv misa? That he has to have kavana to kill the Jew. That's the only way that he's going to be chayiv misa over here. We have to see that he had kavana to kill a Jew. So here we got a suffix. So in that case, we don't. So then for lahakil, we're gonna be matzel him from the din misa.
Wait a second. Don't we have a basic principle that we cannot execute a person for killing someone unless there were two witnesses who warned him specifically?
Right, we have that. We have this.
Then we don't have the two witnesses, so how can we execute in any case?
No, we have. So you're asking, how does this all work in light of the rule that we have to have two witnesses over here? We have witnesses. We have witnesses that saw it, and furthermore, we have to have a warning. Right.
You can have this case. The whole point is we have this chayiv, we have this chayiv, one mikaben zeh and kill this one. This case that we're talking about, remember, is talking about 9 Kananim, the final case, the 9 Jews, and there's a goy there. If you had a group of only Jews there, only 10 Jews there, and you warned them, don't throw the rock because there's a warning, don't throw the rock into the 10 Jews, and there are only Jews there, because you're going to kill a Jew, and he kills a Jew, he still might be chayiv in that case.
No, what he's asking is, what is the omek of your question, Lou, is what is the? We know we need, in order for him to be chayiv misa, we know we have to have 80. Okay, we have 80, and also furthermore we have to have a straw. We have to have a proper warning. So you're asking what would be the warning, and we also know we learned it in Maseches Makkos that we're very particular about the warning. The warning has to be a warning that it's clear to the person that if he's going to do this act that he's about to do, he's going to get the following punishment.
Right.
So in that case, you're asking what exactly are they going to be telling him over here? Can they tell him, if you throw this stone into the crowd, you're going to be chayiv misa? Well, if it's 5 and 5, so we got witnesses that he killed the Jew. He gave him that warning. But he's still not going to be chayiv. Why? Because in that case we say suffix nefashos lahakil. There's no proper kavanah. The reason why he's parted from the misa is not because there wasn't witnesses, not because there wasn't the proper hasra. The only reason he's parted in this case is because in the case of 5 and 5, we say there's no kavanah. That's not a good enough proof that there was kavanah. Suffix nefashos lahakil. There's a suffix as to his kavanah.
And in that case, have to say, if you throw the rock and you have kavanah to kill a Jew, you'll be chayiv, and he has to say, yes, I understand, and I'm doing it anyway.
Okay, so you're asking a good question. It's not at all the subject of our Gemora over here.
Right.
It's totally not the subject. The issue over here, which is clear from the Gemara, is the reason he's going to get off the hook is not because the hasra was insufficient.
Right.
You're asking, wouldn't you need to say a hasra like that? And if so then he told you right there. Yes, I know that I have to have kavanah for a Jew, and I have kavanah for a Jew. I don't care. I'm throwing it into the crowd. That's really his question.
Right.
In that case, if he told us that was his kavanah, but there was 5 and 5 there, what would we say in that case? Would we say it's 5 misa?
Yes.
Or we still use this principle and say, no, it's 5 and 5. No, he told us he has kavanah. Can we believe him that he has kavanah? That's a good, interesting question. But that's not the subject of our Gemora.
Okay.
We are talking in this Gemora that the reason why he's going to be off the hook is not because the hasra is proving that he was had kavanah. We are judging. You're asking why shouldn't now the more I speak it out, I'm getting to the bottom of the question that you're asking. If we gave him a hasra, which would be the hasra that would make him chayav misa, so then that should overrule the fact that there's only 5 and 5 over there.
Right.
Because he said afu pikei, I'm throwing it. But let me ask you a question. What do you say about this? The guys give a hasra. The 2 witnesses give a hasra. Do you know that if you're going to kill a Jew over there, you're going to be chayav misa? And he says, afu pikei, and he throws the stone. Does that mean he has kavanah to kill a Jew?
I see.
I don't think that's clear that he has kavanah to kill a Jew.
If I kill a Jew,
He says, afu pikei, I don't care, I'm throwing the stone. Did he have kavanah to kill a Jew?
that's interesting.
No. I think that's exactly the case. No, we need you to read the rest of the Rashi. What are we going to do here?
You can't leave.
It's okay.
He's going back to Brooklyn Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
He's got a long trip. He's got to
You're
Uber.
going to the U.S.?
What?
The U.S.?
Not now.
No, his hat. His hat says
going in.
Brooklyn
I was
Botanical.
there last time. Was I there last time? I was there. But whatever. Last time. Yeah, true, that too. Well,
He was
we're
there
going
the
to
last
Jerusalem
time.
Gardens. That's a lot closer.
Enjoy
Oh,
your
okay. Yeah, then you could, yeah. Okay, he's got to pick up his grandchildren. Okay, so we have a few minutes. So that's what we said over there. Now let's get to the next Rashi. Lo tzricha. You could even explain the lo tzricha like this. There's a way to explain the lo tzricha. It's like saying lo tzricha ella. Lo tzricha ella, for the case of Tesha Yisraelim and Kanani Echad.
Or you could say Ella Tzricha. Rather, it's needed.
No, but the Gemara doesn't say that. The Gemara
Never does?
always says lo tzricha.
Right.
Sometimes the Gemara says tzricha. But here the Gemara says lo tzricha, generally says lo tzricha. So lo tzricha we could explain. Lo tzricha ella means we only need the case, we only need the pasuk of Arav Lei, not for the first case that we mentioned, where there's 9 Canaanim and 1 Jew, and not for the case of 5 Canaanim and 5 Jews. Lo tzricha ella, we only need it for this case. For this case that we're going to tell you right now, where there's 9 Jews and there's only 1 Canaanim. So you'd think to say, well, just like we said before, let's go Basarov. Maybe over here we should say also, go Basarov. If there's 9 Jews there and there's 1 Kanani, that should be Kavanah.
Right.
There's a good svart to say that should be Kavanah. He had Kavanah. That's enough Kavanah to say that he should be Chayav Misa over here. That's enough Kavanah to say that he was Mechaben to kill a Jew, and he should be Chayav Misa. On that, the pasuk says no, or of lo. He is going to be patur in this case too. Let's see, Rashi. Want to read Rashi, Phil? Lou.
De'i lav, that if not kara for the pasuk, who,
Right.
it would be, Amina,
Haba Amina. That's supposed to be other.
Amina, I would have thought,
Right.
Zeal, go, basar, after Rova, which is
Right.
what you just said.
Oh,
The Yisrael and the Jew, Ikavein, intended, Af al Gav, even though the Dilma, that maybe Lav would not the high to this Ikavein, even though it was not this kavanah, niskavein. Ikavein niskavein.
Afogav the Dilma lav lahayachaven, and even though that perhaps for this one Jew he didn't have kavanah.
Niskavein, he did have kavanah laharog, to kill. Es zeh, this, the harag es zeh, and he killed that one. He had intention to kill this one, and he killed that one.
What? There's
What?
only one Jew there.
Yeah, and chayiv, he's obligated. Ka,
Oh, that's all part of one thing. Even though that, according to remember that we're going in the Rabbanan, and the Rabbanan say that that the din is that if he had kavanah to kill Jew number 1, and he ends up killing Jew number 2, what's the din?
Butter.
According to Rabbanan,
Oh, chayiv to the
he's chayav.
Rabbi Shimon says butter.
He's chayav. That. What do you mean? He didn't have kavanah for that person that he killed. But that's what the Rabbanan hold.
Right.
Rabbanan hold that. That's what Rashi is saying over here. Afogav the dilma lav lahayachaven. Even though that perhaps to this person, to this one Jew that was there, he didn't have kavanah. It certainly is a reasonable possibility. And we know that according to Rabbanan, the din is nechavin laharug gezeh, v'harug gezeh is chayiv. We know that you don't have to, according to Rabbanan, you don't have to have kavanah for the person that you actually killed, not you. That this person,
One doesn't.
Jew, one doesn't, right? So according to that, Rashi's setting up the stage over here that this guy should be chayav, according to Rabbanan. We'd think. This is all included in the Afogav.
But if there's only one Jew, and he had intention for this, but killed this, then we have to say he had intention for a non-Jew. In which case, the Rabbanan hold he's putter.
Rashi's saying that I hear what your point is.
It's the all used as the maked.
In other words, when we say, according to the Rabbanan, that the Rabbanan argue with Reb Shimon, and they say that niskaven laharug gezeh, v'harug gezeh is chayiv. At least the only way that he's going to be chayiv, say the Rabbanan, is if he had kavanah for the first zeh was a Jew.
Right.
Because if it was not a Jew, he's going to be patur, because that's the din that we learned in the Mishnah. He's mechaven for a behemoth, and he kills a Jew. He's patur. And excuse me for making the comparison. It's not really. I mean, we're not making a comparison between goyim and animals, but the din is the same. That if he had kavanah for a Jew, for a non-Jew rather, and he killed a Jew, he'd also be patur.
Right.
So long yichayo. That is the din. And I hear your question. Your question is, but over here we can't say that. It's a good.
Right.
We're in the middle of the Rashi. I don't know what to answer right now. Let's see how Rashi develops his point.
Kamash we derive.
Kamash Malon
Oh,
is,
it comes to tell
the
us.
pasuk is coming to teach us. The Arav law is coming to teach us.
Korah the pasuk. The ho'il, that since the who, V'havale, since we would have thought Kinaani Kavua Beinehem, with non-Jews, there is a set, something established between them.
Okay.
Kavua is like Makam Kavua. That's your set place.
Yeah,
Is that the right
he has a fixed position over here. Who has the fixed position over here in this crowd? The Kanani. He has a status over Havile. There is to him. To who? To the Kanani. There is to the Kanani a status of kavua b'neihem amongst the 9 Jews that are there. We call his standing there together with the 9 Jews. His status is that of being kavua there.
Oh, the Jew is kavua.
The Kanani is kavua over here, says
All
Rashi.
9 of them are kavua.
Yeah, we're not talking about the 9 of them. There's a majority of them. We don't need them to be kavua. They're majority, the overwhelming majority.
Right.
But we're saying that that since the Kanani, him being there in this crowd, in this situation that we find it, in halacha we regard this Kanani as being kavua beinehem. He's
Right.
kavua amongst these other 9.
Right.
Okay? And therefore, since we regard him as being kavua in this crowd there, and it's his place. It's his place no less than it is their place. It's a street. It's a public place.
Right.
Everybody's allowed to be over there. We expect anybody to be over there. And he, in fact, is there. The fact that he's sorely outnumbered by Jews, that it's 9-1, doesn't mevatel his position of being there. He's kavua over there. Oh, so we have a halachic principle that when in a case where even the miut is kavua in that makom, we say that in halacha we regard the case as being a case of mex al mex. In halacha we regard it as being mex al mex, even though there's 9 against 1.
Right.
That's a halacha. That's where do we know it from? It's I don't know, but it's a universal principle. We use it in many places.
Right.
This is the place to find this Kanani. It's the street. It's his street too. He's there. He's kavua over there, just like the Jews are. But there's a rove of Jews over there. Still, he's kavua over there. He has a status of being kavua. If so, then we don't go according to the rove in this case where the miut is kavua in that place.
The miut is the
Kanani. He's the miut over here. There's only one of him. You got the rove, you got the majority, and the miut is the minority.
So the
miut is the minority.
This is the case where it's 9 Jews and 1. Okay.
There's 9 Jews and 1 goy. Right? Just like there's 9 pieces of okay, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to confuse it with that.
Good. Not confused enough.
9 pieces of kosher meat and 1 piece of non-kosher meat.
Right.
And it's kavua. We're not going to go there. Let's just see what Rashi has to say about this case here.
Right. Can
It's
we just
comparable
review
case.
the last sentence? The pasuk teaches us
Yes.
that since it is that the Kanai is kavua,
Right?
so when it says the pasuk teaches us talking about ambushing him.
Yes. Right.
Okay, so the pasuk of ambushing teaches us. I don't see the connection between the pasuk of ambushing him and the Kanani being
Arav Lo is telling us that what?
that he's waiting for a Jew.
He has to have a kavana for a Jew.
Right.
And if he doesn't have kavana for a Jew, so he's going to be patur.
Right. And so since he's kavua, we say, you can't say he has kavana for a Jew because it's metzah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
got it. Okay, got it. Kamexa. Like half and half. Dami. It's
Lashon Gemora.
Safek, in a doubt, in Pashos, Lahakya. We're lenient in a doubt where there's a Chayyim.
It's a case of the Pashos. There's a suffix in as to whether or not we have the requisite amount of kavana over here, and so in that case, Lahakya, we're going to be mekel on the din the Pashos. He won't be chayiv misa over here.
Ulachol Mile, in all these words, Tikaima, established line to it, Kavua, the status of Kavua, Kemekza al Mekza, as half and half. Dami, it's similar to. Mehai, from this,
Right.
Kra, Pasuk,
Right.
Nafkale, Nafkalan, we learn it out.
Right. L'kol mili. Mili could mean words, and it could also mean matters. In
Right.
all matters, l'kol mili, in all matters, in kaimalon kavua kameksa meksa, that we apply the principle of kavua. When the miut is kavua in that makom, we don't regard the fact that it's only a miut. We regard it as a case of meksa meksa. And Rashi says, where do we know that from? Haikra. From this here pasuk of Araglo in Dini Nefashos, we apply that to Kol Torah, Kol HaTorah, Kula. When you have 9 pieces of meat, that are like this, and one piece is like that. Oh, if that one piece is kavua, oh, you got to say meksa meksa. You can't go basarov. You can't say 9 pieces of beer kosher. No, can't eat it. So, not only we. Okay.
So the deeper scale is lo tzaricha deika teisha Yisraelim.
Right.
So what this Rashi is telling us is that we only need our pasuk of Arelo,
Arev, Aleph,
Lo,
Resh, base.
Arev Lo,
Right.
he ambushed him.
Right.
And the case where it's 9 Jews and 1 Canaanite,
Right.
because of the principle of Karov, Kavua, which establishes it as being a case of Meksa, and therefore it's Safek Hakel.
Right, because it works out. If we're going to say that it looks like Meksa, that's being Mekel in this case. When it comes to the meat, you're being Machmir.
So my question is, why is it saying we need the pasuk for that? If we have this principle, couldn't we learn this case of 9 and 1 without the pasuk?
Good question. So that was the first part of the Rashi. Very good. That was the first part of the Rashi. What did Rashi say? We're going Lefi Rabbanan, and we know that the Rabbanan hold Hamachaben Lazeh, V'harog Ezeh is Chayav. They don't learn that and in this case, we would have thought to say that he would be Chayav. So he doesn't have to have kavanah for this specific Jew. Any one of the 9 Jews is good enough. And if he would kill Jew, if he had kavanah for Jew number 1, he killed Jew number 2, he'd also be chayav according to Rabbanan.
Oh, I would hope so.
But now we're saying no. We're saying because there's one goy there. So and he's kavua there. So we're going to apply this principle of Meksa Meksa.
No. This is what we did on purpose.
We Meksa Meksa. So now it's pashas. Say something pashas lahakam. But Rashi says we would have thought to say Go according to the rule. Why not? There's 9 Jews. And according to Rabbanan, we don't need that he has kavanah for dafka this one Jew that he ended up killing.
Oh.
He could have kavanah for any one of those 9 Jews. That would be good enough for the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan are bullock on Reb Shimon.
Right.
So we have a good case for saying that even according to Rabbanan, he should be chayav misla. On that, Rashi says that's why the Gemora is saying we need this pasuk over here of Arevlo to tell me no, Gamash Malan, that even in this case, he's since we're going to say the goy is kavua b'makomo b'neihem, and Rabbi Moore is here.
Yes, your brother sent a check